Hey baseball fan, it's rough out there. Time for a little self-care, like spending quality time with the box scores from last night, savoring comfort food like hot dogs with mustard and onions, and a few minutes of cardboard meditation. Welcome to the show that features some of baseball's oddest stories and the cardboard slabs that document them. So go ahead, relax your mind, retreat to your happy place, and get ready to find peace and joy through baseball cards with your host, the big guy.
Thanks for stopping in today for our little cardboard meditation. I'm glad you're here. I've got 3 stories today that can offer a little inspiration and intestinal fortitude. I'm sure to help you out on your day, but also help out your legacy collection. Give it a little bit of, shall we say, inspiration there too. Something to make you feel good. All right, let's get right down to it. Employers and organizations place great value on the physical ability of their employees. Everybody is expected to meet the physical criteria of a job description. But thankfully, over the years, removing, obstacles in the workplace, offering technological solutions to physical challenges, and a positive view of those workers with physical disabilities have given all people in this country a great chance at reaching their dreams. So when players with what we would call, disabilities excel, exceed, and set new standards in a game, we all stand up and applaud. Justifiably so. Here are 3 players that will inspire you. Let's start with Three Fingers Mordecai Brown. Now, as you surmised by his nickname, he had just 3 fingers on his pitching hand. In fact, Mordecai had as many nicknames as he had fingers on his right hand. There was Three Fingers, Three-Fingered Miner because he worked in the Western Indian coal mines before baseball, known as Mort by relatives and friends, and fans knew him as Brownie because, I don't know. I don't know why they called him that. Here's how Three Fingers wound up with what we would all call a disability. He didn't see it that way, though. As a young man in 1888, while pushing feeding material into the hopper of a feed chopper for his farm, he got his hand too close to the openings, and it was mangled by the rotating blades, cutting off his index finger and damaging the others. When shortly thereafter he fell and broke several of the bones on the healing fingers, and never had them reset, turning his gnarled, twisty meat hook into a quick-breaking, knuckle-curve-tossing cannon. He figured out how to grip the ball with his left hand and invented a knuckle curveball with tremendous breaking ability just before getting to the plate. Three Fingers became one of the star pitchers during the dead ball era. Here are the numbers old Mort put up. Remember, he did this with a thumb and 3 fingers on his pitching hand, okay? 239 wins, 130 losses. An ERA of 2.06 and 1,375 strikeouts. He was a 2-time World Series champ and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1949. You want one of his cards? Well, take a look at this one, a 1911 T205. This will run you between $400 and $600 in very good condition. Be a great addition to your LC and something inspirational for you to look at from day to day. Okay, now during the height of Vietnam, the Vietnam War, military camps all over the U.S. were training young men and women for war. In 1969, Carlos May, the younger brother of Cincinnati Red star Lee May, was stationed at Camp Pendleton. One summer day, Carlos was cleaning out a mortar and it misfired. The shell blasted off a part of his right thumb and he was taken to the hospital. If Carlos had been standing over the mortar or holding it, it would have killed him. When he healed, he came back to the White Sox and he had a breakout season. He hit .285, hit 12 home runs, and 68 RBIs. The Sporting News awarded him their Rookie of the Year award. But Major League Baseball gave their award to Lou Piniella. Carlos went on to have a pretty good career and played with 3 teams, the Chicago White Sox, the New York Yankees, and the California Angels. Carlos was the only player in MLB history to wear his birthday on his back, May 17. Here is the 1974 Topps card. Take a look at the different batting gloves. The white one protected that injury. The card number is 195. All right, this next story is quite inspirational and shows a lot of courage and intestinal fortitude. You might think that when a child is different, perhaps living with a birth defect, that child's future is limited. Jim Abbott was born in Flint, Michigan in 1967. He was born without a right hand. And in school, he experienced some real discomfort when kids cringed and reacted negatively at the sight of his arm. Jim would wear a prosthesis, but some of the kids, upon seeing this, would call him Captain Hook. This prosthesis, although appreciated, was often the focus of teasing and made simple tasks like holding a piece of paper to a desk and writing on it difficult. He said while coloring on something he worked hard on, it would sometimes get ripped up and it was frustrating. Jim liked to throw a rubber ball against a wall for hours. His dad would watch him and determined a method of quickly shifting his glove from the arm with no hand to his throwing hand. This was the path to Major League stardom right there. He could throw and field with the same hand, but he still couldn't tie his shoes. He had a third-grade teacher, Mr. Clarkson, who used to work for NASA, and he noticed how Jim was trying to tie his shoes and created a new one-handed shoe-tying technique. He showed it to the whole class, and Jim caught on to the technique really quickly. Now, Jim would tie his own shoes. Victory! Just one of the many victories for the amazing lefty. Abbott once said that courageous, motivational, inspirational were things people said about his life. But he went on to say that generous, supportive people who believed that there was a way to do things a little bit differently, and that person, Don Clarkson, his teacher, embodied it as much as anything that I can recall from my childhood. I think we could add humble to that too. Jim was off to the University of Michigan, played for the Wolverines for 3 years, leading them to 2 Big Ten Conference championships, pitched in the 1988 Summer Olympics when it was a demonstration sport, and was the Big Ten Athlete of the Year in 1988. He was drafted by the California Angels, went right into the starting rotation, never tossing one pitch in the minor league. He finished 12-12 and 5th in the AL Rookie of the Year voting. He was later traded to the New York Yankees, where he pitched a no-hitter against the Cleveland Indians on September 4, 1993. Jim went on to pitch for a few other teams and retired in 1999. Abbott said on his website about growing up with a disability that sports became a way for me to gain acceptance. I think it fueled my desire to succeed. I truly believe that difficult times and disappointments can push us to find abilities and strengths we wouldn't know existed without experiencing struggle. Abbott by the numbers: 87 wins, 108 losses, 4.25 ERA, and 888 strikeouts. Jim said that it took many people and support from the community to help Jim down his inspirational and courageous path. The lesson learned here is when you see someone with a challenge, physical or mental, ask how to help and do so without expecting anything in return. You have no idea how you may be able to help that person in their later life. Now here is the 1990 Topps Jim Abbott. It'll just cost you $1 to $1.50, and what a great story you'll have and how different your legacy collection will look. All right, that's going to do it for today. Keep that legacy collection growing. We're going to talk about that in some upcoming episodes. And like I've said in the past, happiness isn't something you are entitled to life. It's something you bring to life. So bring it and collect what you like. Talk soon.
Just like that feeling you get after the 7th inning stretch? Fresh and focused. Cardboard meditation helps set your mind right. Thank you for watching. Show us your appreciation by clicking the like and subscribe button. Ring the bell while you're at it so you'll know when we upload a new story.